Nobody indeed, except maybe the Oregon Ducks. They're looking good so far. Welcome in to the Overs here on Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. TJ Parker right there. TJ, what's good, bro?
Good, AB. Good. So happy to see Oregon kicking some ass, as you say.
Yeah, dude, they are, man. They look good, especially after a loss to Grand Canyon. Like, it's a nice comeback for them. If anybody's brand new, we break down the week that is college baseball coming up, and we're going to have a ton of fun doing it. Now, I'm trying to load the slides right now, and Google's not having fun with that. So we're going to work on that one. But, TJ, we got a couple games going on. So we've got, obviously, Oregon. We need this Washington State, Oregon State, man. Oregon State's bats have been just so hit or miss. Like, they went crazy yesterday. And, today it's just, man, I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah, they're worrying me.
Yeah, and they're such a good team too.
I know they have a good opportunity in the series coming up this weekend, and I'm probably just going to stay away and see what they do.
Yeah, I know. I feel you on that. Look, I'm trying to get the slides to load. They're still waiting. We're going to give people some time and buy ourselves some time in regards to doing that. Thanks a lot, Google. Having a great week. Great week. Let's see. Dude, all right. So this one, let's talk about this for a second while we wait. Kansas. 29-1. It was 24-1 in the fifth inning. Like, I had to check it like 5 different times. I was like, what in the hell is this, dude?
Yes, I did see that, and I was actually going to bring it up, and I completely forgot about a half an hour. Thanks for reminding me. That was unreal. Yeah, I saw that score and I was like, crazy, but
it was
something
nuts
to look forward to.
Yeah, it was nuts. Good God, these damn slides. Sorry, people. Google's driving me crazy. They're not loading our slides up here. Kansas State been a big letdown so far. They have. Christian, what up, dog? Good to see you. Good to see you indeed. TJ, how's your day gone? Tell me about your day here, bud.
Not too bad. Quick day at work. Rocking my St. Patty's Day hat today. Toronto Maple Leafs should be wearing these jerseys. Not to talk about hockey, but AB's back.
Dude, I'm telling you, Google's all over the goddamn place right now, dude. It's nuts. It's driving me nuts. It says there's a problem with your file. Christian's comment's been on. Yeah, you know what? This is going to be wild. This is going to be a fun episode here. All right, so we're going to get started. We'll get into it here. It's tough to do it without any graphics whatsoever. Let me see if I can just hand load them here, which is not going to be fun at all. But it's about all that we can do. Nope, I can't. All right, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah, so to hit an 8-teamer. Ooh.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Sorry to interrupt you. Scott, he's one team away from hitting an 8-leg parlay. Nice job.
What's he need?
Mercer.
He needs Mercer. I haven't even seen how they're doing. Yeah, how is Mercer doing? Any idea? Anyone?
No.
God, this sucks. It's driving me crazy.
But I feel like you don't want me to be staring down at it. But here we go.
No, like at this point, this is severely pissing me off. Yeah, fantastic. What a great show.
That's why it's an evening show.
It is. Oh, they're playing Kennesaw State. Has it started? You got any information? Like, I'm just left in the dark here. I'm trying to find it. I have no idea. If anybody understands,
D1 baseball's not loading on my phone.
I'm telling you, I'm getting nothing, man. I'm getting absolutely nothing. I don't know what in Christ has happened to do all of the internet whatsoever. But Nick May says, "You ready for Gator Nation, dude?" All right, so we got Florida and Tennessee this weekend. That's gonna be a hell of a series, man. That's gonna be a hell of a series. And Florida, like football, Florida has had its way with Tennessee, especially in Knoxville. And it'll be in Knoxville this weekend.
We got a great pitching matchup Friday in that series.
Oh my God!
Up against each other, it's going to be if you can get the under whatever it is. Friday, Tennessee, Florida, take it. It might even be 8.5, and I'd still take it. So,
TJ, do me a favor. Let me drop out and drop back in. Talk to these guys real quick. Oh, never mind. Oh my God, we just had it. All right, talk to them real quick. I'll be right back.
No problem.
I know. I just threw you like the worst assignment of all time.
No, you're good. All right, so another series that this weekend looking forward to. We can talk about North Carolina and Louisville. I really like that. North Carolina has coming into it kind of struggling. They're 2-2 in their last 4, so we might get some really nice numbers there. Not sure about if they'll split that series. I think North Carolina at home.
There we go. All right, boom. All right,
The
you can't
overs.
beat it. You can't beat us today. What if this were the only slide that loaded? The all right, let's
Don't
get
jinx
into
it.
it. Thank you everyone for just handing with my insanity here. But it's not my fault. It's Google's. We're gonna blame them. It's always Google's fault. All right. So our weekend key series. Let me bring this up. So again, this is the first full weekend of conference play across the board. All right. So you're gonna see a lot of ranked. All right, Texas at Mississippi State. Just talking about it. Florida at Tennessee, Notre Dame and Clemson. All right, Georgia Southern, Coastal Carolina, Boston College, Florida State, Kentucky and Georgia, Miami, Wake Forest, North Carolina, Louisville, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Alabama, A&M, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and guess what? There's another slide of them, dude. Keep going down the damn list. Grand Canyon going from Oregon to Oregon State. That should be fun for them. Stanford is at home. You see the bottom middle there playing against a team that we don't mention their name. And then you see Virginia and California, right? Missouri and LSU. So, TJ, after seeing all of these, I mean, what comes to your mind first when you see, like, what series stand out to you that you want to watch?
Well, right away, I was just touching on the North Carolina Louisville. Louisville really hasn't played anybody in a while. They've played 2 ranked teams, but that was at the start of the year, like early on. So I'm really interested in how they face North Carolina this weekend. And then Tennessee, Florida, we did touch on it. I would like to again, though. Big matchup there. Obviously, we could be seeing a split, but on the Friday, I'm going to be jumping all over and under. Oregon, Minnesota. Is that on this one or are we on the next slide? Yeah. Well,
sorry. Next slide.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Oregon's got the sweep there. It's a lock. You're going to be able to use that in parlays and stuff this weekend. And I'm going to be all over the Oregon team totals. I mean, if we can get 6.5s again, like today, definitely, but we might even get 8.5s. And I'd consider those. And yeah, I just have here, like, you touched on it, but I have like, why is Duke on here?
I know, like, right? Like, dude, yeah, I almost marked it out. I almost marked it out on the slide. Now, all right. Jay Lance said, look, AB's tech support fund $4.99 super chat. First off, thank you as always. And that's hilarious. You're exactly right. Dude, if you could measure the rage that was going through right there when things don't work out as they should. Now, maybe it helps that I get in the studio early and set these things up. Again, likely it's on me. We're not going to blame Google. They're pretty smart over there. Yeah, Scott says Duke is banned. They are banned for life. Hey, watch out for Boston College. You Florida State. Boston College is not bad. Minnesota playing Oregon. Dude, I know. Like, but there. Well, there's just an explosion at Vanderbilt University. Whoa. I don't know what just happened. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It just popped up as breaking news. Yeah. Find out more about that one. Yeah, dude. Like, I've played a lot of baseball. I've never been beat 29-1. I'd never get up 24 runs in the first 5. Usually the umpire. Yeah, they go and call it. Really tough weather coming through the South this weekend. That's another great point, too. And we'll hit on that this weekend when it comes, but I'll be 100%, man. Great call. No fly zone, indeed. We need like a no, like, we're going to have to figure one out for baseball. Okay, so the bump. All right. We had some changes come up where we had one change. All right. And then we also have 2 starters that we're going to avoid. Okay. So now we've got the show moving in the right direction. TJ, talk to us and tell me when to throw the slide.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're going to start with our new guy tonight, Joey Villani. Great pitcher from Florida State, lefty. He's 4-0, as you can see, 1.16 ERA. Had a great start last start. He's going to be playing Boston College, which I think is a great matchup for him. They've lost 3 straight Saturdays, and as you can see at the top, he's our Saturday starter. So look to grab Florida State on Saturday against Boston College. Then we'll move over to Hunter Elliott. Just touch on him quick because I just want to give a quick information. He's up against Arkansas, who's 16-1. They haven't really had like the craziest tough schedule. So Ole Miss is a good matchup for them here. But I do know that Arkansas as a very good starter on Friday. So we're going to avoid Hunter Elliott as they've been lights out Friday too. I like the under there. We'll touch on it. Maybe we'll put that in the Discord as a bet, but just something to think about. Liam Doyle, what an outing. I mean, his last outing, 5 2/3, no hitter. Listen,
Yeah,
to this,
can
he
I
had
pause real quick?
13.
Let me pause. I
Yeah.
did
Go
not mean
ahead.
to interrupt
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Everyone in the crew, can we give a round of applause, all right, over the internet to our man TJ? All right, he's nailing Liam Doyle like on this thing for 2 weeks. 2 weeks in, my man comes in and is part of, and the main part of a damn no-hitter, which you don't really see in college baseball. So, TJ, I just got to give you some love on that one. Well done. I'll stop interrupting you. Keep going, but had to give you some props, dude. You earned that one.
Yeah, I appreciate that. In that outing, unreal. He faced 19 batters and struck out 13 of them. Like crazy. He walked too. So that's like crazy outing for him. Anyways, we're gonna get in. He's going up against another Liam Patterson, who is 4-0 with a 0.86 ERA. I think that Tennessee has the better matchup here. So I do have him, like, we're going to use him on Friday, but I think if I can get a good number on the under, like we're talking about, that's what we're going to take. So we'll look to do that. And then we'll go to the next slide with JB Middleton. He had a really tough outing in his last outing, loses to UNC Wilmington, but they're a really good team, in my opinion. Some people probably don't think so, but they have some of great pitchers who locked down games for them. And I do believe that he got out pitched in that game. He goes up against Old Dominion, and they are 4-10. And on Friday, Liam O'Brien, Sunday starter, 2-0. He didn't have a great outing. His last outing, he had 5 walks. Goes up against UC Santa Barbara. I really think that Hawaii on the Sunday matches up great against them. So we're going to look at using him on the money line. We could get a number that's plus money here. So we may be able to jump on that. I do think that UC Santa Barbara and Hawaii will split this series, and it'll be a good one. I would love to see UC Santa Barbara win the first 2. That way we have a great chance with Liam O'Brien grabbing that Sunday.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's an excellent point, man. Like, if we get UCSB to win Friday, win Saturday, yeah. And especially if they're tight games and UCSB gets, they have to go through some, a good amount of pitchers as well. Yeah, that's a good thought process. I like that. That's definitely something.
It is tough to monitor like what bullpens people are using in college, but yes, it's a good thing to like see these starters and be like, okay, like if we had a Sunday guy who's really good and the team is going up against another good team, semi-ranked, we could see a split. So take advantage of the opportunity to get the plus money play on the Sunday.
I like the way you think, boy. Well done. Well done. All right. Now that is the bump. Now let's take a look at the team leaderboard here. All right. And this is stats across the country, home runs and team ERA. Tennessee's a problem. How do you want to get down? Now, here's the deal. Like, Tennessee's strength of schedule has not been it. They had that one weekend in Houston, where they played some good teams, Oklahoma State and Arizona. Other than that, it's been no one. So I'll also say this though, like that explains more the ERA. It explains the hitting too, right? But 50 home runs already is pretty strong, and then a 1.77 ERA. You see, look, Georgia 46 home runs, East Tennessee. All right, just keep an eye on that team. Abby says, "Be careful." I'm being careful indeed. Like that's what I'm like. Tennessee's due for some losses, and notice I said plural. All right, they're due for some losses. Yeah, so just like, yeah, I trust me, I totally get it, and especially with Florida coming up. Florida can come through and sweep them. Like Florida's good enough to do that to anyone at any time. So yeah, trust me, Abby, we're on the same. Like I had to get a little hype in there and then quickly take that back because they're very due for some losses. Georgia, yeah, East Tennessee, keep an eye on that team, dude. Absolutely right. The Bucks, dude, they could bash. Absolutely can. You're not always going to get to bet them, right? Because it's just not always going to be an option. But when it's there, take a look at overs. Alabama, 38 bombs. Wake Forest, 36. And then you look at the other side, team ERAs. Tennessee, Kentucky, Western Kentucky. That's another one. All right. We played Western Kentucky. Was it? Yes. Yeah. Last night on the over. This team can absolutely mash. Like, I know that they had a big one yesterday, winning 21-2 or whatever. Like, dude, they're going to do that a few times. This team can mash. They can pitch as well. UCF, fourth at 2.42, and then Florida State, 2.62. TJ, what sticks out to you?
East Tennessee, really, they weren't on my radar, like you said. So seeing them there was, surprising to me. And then Wake Forest is back. Love that.
Yeah.
Georgia, 46. Not surprised by that. I actually was surprised by looking into their team today and their schedule. I think they may have the easiest schedule so far out of most ranked teams. It's pretty light.
Yeah.
And then Florida State's pitching staff. Florida State's pitching staff has been lights out. Is what put me on the radar to our new guy, Joey. But they got some other guys in there who might make the list next week. So,
and Florida State replaced a lot of players from last year on both sides, pitching and especially hitting. I mean, they had 2 through 5, arguably in their lineup, were some of the best hitters in the country. Like, replaced the whole damn thing, and they haven't taken a step back at all. And a lot, again, hitting and pitching. So there you go. Team leaderboards. Again, that just kind of keeps us all, up to date on, interesting stats we need to know, but it also gives you kind of an idea as we go of, playing overs, playing unders, things like that. We're only obviously through 4 weeks of the season. So you're going to see these teams and these numbers. There's going to be some volatility until we get, double-digit weeks under our belt. But you'll start to see the teams that remain on this list, and it'll give you a good idea because generally these are teams that we're going to be betting on. So those are the leaderboards. All right, now coming in hot. What we do with this is baseball is a very contagious type sport, man. Hitting is contagious. You know what I mean? Absolutely. They absolutely. Look, and Nick May says UCF is a weapon. Also mad respect for Dallas Baptist, 100%. Both those teams. UCF has started off so damn good. And I mean, not that Dallas Baptist has it, right? But yeah, UCF is a weapon for sure. Coming in hot, what we do here is we take a look at teams that generally week to week keep winning weekends, right? And it's one thing when it's non-conference that you get to conference play, but especially when you get to conference play, like starting now, like next week, if you start seeing these same teams, like that's the beauty about college baseball is that on the weekends you get a series of 3 games, so it's not just one and done. And generally, teams that are hot stay hot. You know what I mean? So we take a look at last week. LSU, Tennessee, Arkansas, Clemson, and Georgia, all 5-0. Now, what we do with this is it doesn't mean that we're automatically betting these teams, but we just got to take notes because we don't have any lines or anything for the weekend yet, right? But we just got to take notes and say, okay, maybe keep an eye on this team, maybe avoid this team, right? Like Tennessee and Florida. There is no telling what the hell could happen in that one, but LSU against Missouri at home got a pretty good feel. You know what I mean? Like LSU's a team to mark down because you're finally going to get them at somewhat of an affordable price. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Sweet.
Yeah. Like you're finally going to get them at prices that you could play all weekend. Arkansas at Ole Miss. That's going to be a tough one for both sides. Clemson versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a good baseball team. Now, Clemson's hot as hell right now. Like they're hitting the ball. Clemson's putting up 7 runs a game, but they're getting them at home, right? So it's like, okay, Clemson might be a team. Keep an eye on. And then this one's tough for me because they're both in my rotation. We've got Georgia hosting Kentucky this weekend. All right, Georgia can score a ton of runs. Kentucky can choke you the hell out. You know what I mean? So that one's going to be interesting. But that's who we have here. Teams are kind of marked down. Any thoughts that you have? Anything here? LSU and Clemson stick out to me, even though Clemson's dangerous because Notre Dame is dangerous. They're good baseball.
Yeah, I have LSU and Clemson as sweeps. And then Georgia and Kentucky, I was also surprised. Neither of those teams have played ranked teams yet, so it's good to see them actually get to play some good ball teams here and see what they can really do, because that's, like you said, Kentucky can mash, but they can also pitch. So what's gonna come and clash here? And I'm just really looking forward to Tennessee, Florida. Every time I see it up here, it makes me smile.
Dude, I know it's gonna be good. Like, because I can already tell you, like, my dad and my nephew, they went to the games this weekend in Knoxville, and they're gonna be packed this weekend. Like, it is gonna be a full ass house, dude. It's gonna be great. You could have Tennessee and Florida shooting craps outside, like, and the fan base be going. There'll be Florida fans there too. Florida travels everywhere, any sport, anytime. So yeah, it's gonna be good. Now, the opposite of that here. All right, now pull it full screen. So the bounce back. So this is kind of, again, college baseball is a very consistent sport, but it's also built off of kind of a ping pong theory here. Okay. And what I mean by that is that on the same token of you can ride a hot team weekend to weekend, you got to be careful with it. You can also, like, we played Oregon today based off of losing to Grand Canyon Tuesday night. Okay. Responding well. Well, the same theory goes for weekends. All right. So teams that had a tough one last weekend, North Carolina, went 2-2. They're at Louisville this weekend. That's going to be dangerous. I'm just going to tell you. Virginia went 2-2. They're at Cal. I think Virginia is a much better team. That's a lot of travel. Auburn, oh my God, at home against Vanderbilt. That's going to be a hell of a series. Coastal Carolina, home against Georgia Southern. Mark Coastal Carolina down. That is a team we could be playing all weekend long. And then Southern Miss versus Old Dominion, another team that we could be playing all weekend. TJ, what sticks out to you, man?
Southern Miss. As soon as I saw that matchup with Old Dominion, I marked it down sweep, and then I got Auburn and Vanderbilt as a stay away. Betting wise, other than, I don't know, what do you think about overs for that series, AB?
For which series? Which one?
Vanderbilt, Auburn. Should we be looking at overs there with those two great?
Yeah, the weather's going to be very important. But yeah, because Vanderbilt's going to bring pitching.
Can pitch.
They can pitch, but Tim Corbin knows that you got to score runs, and Auburn can get hot anywhere, man. Like, that's the thing. So yeah, I'll tell you why. So a lot of times playing overs, you're really betting the number as opposed to the teams. You see what I'm saying? Like, betting a 14.5 over, that's hard for even two of the best hitting teams. You just need a lot of runs. And if you're going to get that many runs, then you start worrying about, okay, well, like we had with North Carolina, we had the over 11, over 12.5, and they run rule, dude, 11-1. You're like, oh, well, yeah, we had the over 12, right? So, I mean, yeah, like, a lot of times you play the number, but Auburn and Vanderbilt, you'll probably get a lower, comparatively, right? So, yeah, I like that thought one. There, Abby says, do you like futures on who will win the College World Series? Yeah, we played some, I think last week. We had Tennessee, Virginia, Florida State, and North Carolina. I don't hate it, but let me say, it is far away. But for the most part, like, you could pretty much like count on teams that are going to get regionals and teams that are going to win a home regional and host us home super regional. Like, you don't want to bet too terribly far out, but it's a sport that you can do that in because it's generally the top teams. Like, they generally make it to the end. You know what I'm saying? You'll have a couple surprises, but for the most part, like, that top 16 are pretty much there. So, yeah, man, like, I think North Carolina is a good team to bet on. I think Tennessee is a good team to bet on. Florida is a good team to bet on. LSU is a very good team to bet on that nobody's talking about. They've got a lot of talent there. Oregon could be a team to bet, like, the way that their bats are going. So, yeah, man, like, I think any of those, and right now you can obviously get really good price on there. Yeah, it's another thing. Like, talking about it, weather in the South all weekend, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for sure. So, all right, that's the bounce back here. All right, some trends of note. Okay, Tennessee is 17-0 They played 17 games and have hit 8 grand slams. 8. And they set the grand slam record last year, and this team is going to smash by it. Now, again, 2 things with it. They haven't played anybody, all right? And if anybody's ever been to Knoxville, Lindsey Nelson Stadium, it is short. All right, it is not a big field. Actually, my high school field, I think, was the same size, maybe larger. Not kidding. So you get a lot of bombs. But 8 grand slams, like just the opportunity for that. You know what I mean? Like you don't always get bases loaded. Wake Forest on fire, TJ, averaging 13.2 runs per game over its last 5 games. 13.2. And look at the schedule. They're not playing bad teams. They were running through, like, they've been playing solid clubs, right? Wake Forest is for real. Gonzaga. They've given up 72 runs over their last 8 games. If you get a game with Gonzaga, all right, the other team's probably going to put some runs up on the board. LSU, their pitchers. This is what's dangerous about them. They're averaging 11.8 strikeouts per game this season. 11.8. It's 27 outs to get done. Like, dude, strong. And then finally, Maryland again. 14 straight games now that Maryland games have reached 10-plus runs. So what sticks out to you here, DJ?
Well, some of the great information like Maryland, I've used that myself. I took one of your plays the other day. Don't know which over it was, but by the time I had stopped working and pulled my phone out, the number had moved to like minus 140. So I just stuck Maryland, brought it down to 10 because they've obviously been doing that, hit. So this is the kind of stuff you want to dive into, look at when you're getting those cruddy numbers that maybe you don't want to play it anymore, but AB's told you it's such a good play. And then Wake Forest up there for offensive stat is awesome because, you know, like they've been up there for the strikeouts lately. Yeah, it's been pitching. So we want to see a good balance and a team like that. And you're right. They've had a really, really good schedule and tough, and they've been answering. So really like them for the rest of the year, and we can use that.
Yeah. 100%. Wake Forest is for real deal team. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and I can't believe you stole my tent. Like I tried to bring one of these to you today, just be like, hey, guys, listen to this. And it's the first one. Of course, you would have been all over the Tennessee. I don't know why, but I just thought maybe you don't know why, but I heard that was like, yeah, I got one.
That's a good one. No, it's a good one. You go and fire it out, you know. I like it. John asks, are most of those grand slams at home? Oh God, yes. Yeah. Like the stat by itself is incredible, but I'm the first one to say, let's look at the competition and look like, yeah.
I think they've only been away for 2 series now. So they've played mostly home games. So a lot of those 50 home runs too. Like that's why when I saw them up there, I was like, oh, that makes sense. They've been playing at home a lot.
Yeah. Isn't it weird? Like the first month and a half of the year, like we've got teams that have played 20 games. We have teams that have played 9 games. Like it's all over the board. It's wild. That's what makes it fun. Scott says, AVT, I capitalized on your Xavier stat last week. If you said go over all weekend on UCLA, Maryland. Yeah, there we go. Nice job, man. Nice job. And that's exactly what these are for, right? Like, you know, every stat doesn't always mean it's going to come through. But when we have the same teams and the same stats keep showing up and they're getting better or worse, respectively, like, it's more than a stat. It's a trend. You know what I mean? Like it's happening. Obviously, supposed to get bad Saturday night in Auburn area. The game may get pushed up. That's another thing to pay attention to. I'm glad that you just said that. College baseball is very, very notorious for moving games. Not only the time, first pitch, if there's going to be, say, storms on Saturday night, like they'll get ahead of it. They'll play Friday night and then they'll announce, hey, we're going to play, Saturday, we're going to move it from 7 p.m. to noon. Or if there's going to be bad weather on Sunday, they'll play Friday night, then announce a doubleheader on Saturday so that they don't have to mess, with Sunday. So 100% college. That's an Abby, great point. I'm glad that you brought that up. College baseball is very notorious. And I say that like it's negative. It's smart getting ahead of it, but they'll do that on you a lot, a whole lot. And then again, going back on doubleheaders, most of the time, however game 1 played out, is generally how game 2 plays out. Like you can go look at this year, go look at last 2 years, 5 years. Like for the most part, they kind of mirror each other. Now, it doesn't always mean like if you have a team that wins like 10-1 in game 1, doesn't mean that it's going to be 10-1 in game 2, but it might be 5-0. You see what I'm saying? Like the way that it played out is generally how it goes. Big Seth, let's show boys, happy to be here. Hey, happy to be here and happy to see you here, my boy. Always better when you are here, Seth. All right, so those are our trends.
The Melkin, so Seth, the Melkin.
Oh, nice. There we go. Oh, yeah. There we go.
I wish I was on the show today to help you out. I was like screaming in my car. I know this.
I love it. All right. So some under the radar series. Now, this is my favorite part of the show. All right, because the books, I assure you, do not cover and do not know every single team in every series because they just don't have a lot of people that are covering them, right? So, sorry to get something to drink. Ohio State and Indiana. Both of these teams can mash. Ohio State, their bats are way better than they get credit for. And boys can hit. Watch out for some runs there. Again, if you're looking for overs, okay, the biggest part is the number. If you could have two teams that are absolutely mashing. If the over 16.5, I mean, Jesus Christ, like that's tough to do. But just mark it down, keep it with you, and we'll all quietly acknowledge that if the books screw up and give us Ohio State and Indiana over 11.5, we're all quietly jumping on that together. And the book's going to wonder, like, where the hell did all this come from? Pittsburgh and Georgia Tech, same deal. Pittsburgh can absolutely score runs. Georgia Tech can absolutely score runs. Keep an eye there. Dayton at George Mason, exact same thing. Nobody's going to pay attention. I guarantee you the books will not be paying attention and have no idea about Dayton baseball or George Mason baseball. But I implore you, go look it up. Both of these teams can rake anywhere. If this is the one, if the books F up and give us this series to bet, and they put some bullshit 11.5 out there, we're going. Like, we're absolutely going. Virginia Tech, NC State. Again, both these teams can hit. And then UTSA at Dallas Baptist. Do not sleep on UTSA. Kind of like their football team. You look at them like, whoa, they've put up 52 points. They can hit. Anything that you see here, TJ?
Yeah, I love Dallas Baptist. So knowing that UTSA can keep up with them, I'm going to be all over the overs there. And then Virginia Tech and NC State, obviously, like you said, I think we might get numbers like Friday at like 14.5. And then as we get to Sunday, like get to the 18, like you said. Yeah. But perfect here to find out this information and get it to the crews and everybody so they can jump on it without having to wait for all the picks coming from us. But yeah, these are huge opportunities. I really liked Pittsburgh for over so far this year. So
yeah, 100%, bro. Like every game you look up, you're like, Pitt scored 9 runs again. Like,
and they give up a ton.
That's the best. That's the absolute best. Is they give up a bunch of them, man. It's awesome. So yeah, I'm with you, man. If like, just keep these with you through the week to the weekend. And if you see a very low number, the book screwed up, jump on it for sure. Jared, what up, bro? Good to see you, man. John said he'd be fired up. Seth, thank you for your pronunciation information. Well done there. All right, so those are under the radar series. The rotation. All right, so you've made a change to yours, which is the point of this, right? Like, this is why we do it, to say, okay, it doesn't mean like these are the teams that we bet, forever and you're stuck with them. No, like we keep the teams that are winning for us. And if a team is not, we get rid of them. You know what I mean? We put them in the bullpen here. So, yeah, so you've added Florida State, taken out Texas A&M. I'm going to pull this full screen. Everybody can kind of see these stats. Feel free to take it wherever you want. You know what I mean? There's a lot of info in here, but yeah, throw it over to you.
Yeah, so I added Florida State 15-1. Obviously, they've been playing really well, so I wanted to get them in there. They're going up against Texas A&M this weekend, so I don't know if it's something where we want to jump on them per se on the money lines. This is two teams that can mash, so I'm thinking overs there. As you can see, 8.8 runs per game. They don't really give up a lot, but I think Texas A&M has to show something this weekend. And if they don't, then, it's just going to plummet even more. A lot of these teams I kept in here, even though I am worried about these series splitting, like North Carolina, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. It's mostly their run production that's made me keep them on my list. I do think with North Carolina, they're going to at least take two out of the three. Tennessee, I'm really worried about, and Vanderbilt. They could end up losing 2 out of 3. So just be wary there. But again, if we can get some nice numbers on the overs there, I'm jumping on them. And then Oregon, they're dogs. And I love this team. I don't really want to boast about it too much other than saying I see a sweep this weekend and I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to be taking the team total over. Might go a little bit too overboard with it. Hopefully not. But yeah, that 10.5 runs per game is unreal. 4-0 in their last. And when we talked about them last weekend, they were 8-0. They've only lost 1. And it's actually a good thing, in my opinion, to lose a game during the week. So gets me even more pumped.
Yeah, no, bro, I'm with you. And I'll say this. Let me pull it so that everybody can still see. So there's information with it. There's info within info on these slides. And I'll tell you this. So you see the team, you see the record this year. At the very far right, you see, how they performed last week, right? So yeah, it's good info. You see the runs per game, then you see the runs per game allowed. And again, all right, what that tells you is Florida State through 16 games on average is winning basically 9-3. So if you want to play run lines, if you want to play totals, right? Doesn't mean that this is exactly the answer, but it goes to tell you that generally in Florida State games, there's 12 runs scored. All right. They're winning 9-3. You know what I'm saying? So that's where this information comes into play. Tennessee basically winning 12-2, which is spot on because almost all of the crazy thing is that almost all their games have been like stopped after the 7th. They've even played full games. You know what I mean? So that information, again, very helpful. Now, it's going to be volatile and there's going to be change now that conference play has started. I assure you. And weekends are going to be hard. There are going to be losses. It'll take a little bit for everybody to get adjusted, players and coaches included. But this information, very helpful. Okay, so that was TJ's. I'll throw mine up here. I'll pull up full screen for a minute. So, Wake Forest, we talked about it. An absolute wagon. 15-3, averaging 10.6 runs per game, giving up 3.8. Undefeated again last week. This team's a monster. Florida State, TJ just went through it, so I don't really have to. You see Georgia, 19-1. 9.6 runs per game, but they're giving up 4.5. And they're playing Kentucky this weekend. Kentucky 13-2. Kentucky can score with you, but look at that 2.5. Kentucky does not give up runs. Now, again, and I'll pull ourselves back on here. We have to put an asterisk on a lot of these stats so far because strength of schedule is not the same across the board. It's not. Tennessee's played one of the easiest schedules on planet Earth, same as Georgia. And I'm not taking anything away from either of those teams. They're legitimately monsters. But some of the stats, there's going to be changes, right? So don't look at this and say, well, I can't believe Georgia, they only scored 4 runs. Yeah, like it's going to be the step up in competition is going to be immense immediately. But these guys have done it. They've played in it. They get it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So those are mine. UC Santa Barbara as well. The quiet squad out here. Don't hear much out of them. Them boys show up win. They're 14-2. 7.2 runs per game average. They don't score a ton. 3.8. They don't give up a ton. They just keep winning ball games. And their schedule's been not bad. Now, they've played a lot of the UC type circuit, right? But there's some damn good teams out there. There's some that UC, that University of California circuit of all those schools. There's some good baseball in there. There's a couple bad dogs too, but there's some good baseball. For sure. So, all right, that's my rotation. It's gonna be fascinating. Georgia and Kentucky playing each other. Getting to see that. That is it. That's all we've got. So TJ, any final thoughts before we get out of here, buddy?
Yeah, Oregon State just fought back against Washington, or Washington State, so that's good. I mean, they got to keep doing that. I'm getting sick of this team.
Yeah, they do. We need it's what 4-3 Oregon State, bottom of the 8th. We need to get that to 11. We need 4 more runs. Let's get a grand slam. Yeah.
Let's go to extras.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yep.
Yeah, just like usual, if you don't get my picks on the on-demand shows, check the Discord under the NCAA baseball. I'm always posting stuff, and I even post NHL because I'm still about that. Can't wait for the MLB season to get going here too, though.
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be real nice. I can't wait, dude. It's always great when baseball's here because we always have so many games and there's so much action. You know what I mean? It's a ton of fun. All right, for TJ Parker, I'm Alan Bell. Thank you so much for tuning into this. We'll be live normal times all throughout the week and the weekend, with some on-demands. But, I mean, we'll be here talking about it. I know we record this Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, so people are looking at it like, well, where are the bets? Well, we don't have any lines. But we've gone through it, and you can kind of mark down the areas where we're looking at, so far. And, it's going to be a great weekend. Look, Fan says, legit squad. Hey, absolutely. That's all of us together. And we'll end it on Tina. Tina, you wonderful son of a gun. So good to see you. All right, everybody. Have a great night. See you live every morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. But until then, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace. Who's got it better than us? No!